Ayun, from what campus? Okay, so welcome. And also we have representatives of other institutions. Our very own MIREC. Yeah, okay. I forgot. Malayan colleges? Sino? Yun. UTLB? Okay. Yeah. Yun muna, no? Lumipaya at nasa registration na yan. Calabarzon. Sorry. And then from Limaro pa nga pala. And then from Benguet, R. Region 12. We have also representatives from Region 12. Thank you for coming over. And then we have also the what's this? DOST. ASTI? ASTI ba? ASTI? Okay. Sige. So, ano ba expectations natin ngayon? Siyempre, para matuto na science writing. Okay? So, lahat ng speakers, we promise you that all of our speakers are very well versed sa science writing, science reporting, and marami tayo matutunan. Even us will be able to learn something, and we also hope to learn something from you sa mga feedback tayo. So with much further ado, I would like to introduce our inspirational speaker for today. He has over 30 years of progressive responsibility in large international, multinational, and national organizations for such areas as corporate communications, public relations, marketing, brand management, corporate social responsibility, corporate governance, risk management, events management, publications, speechcraft, and general office management. He exhibits a keen appreciation of the role of effective communications, collaboration, at the processor, individual, contributor, team, and leadership levels within a connected, globalized environment. He brings this appreciation to create added value, which has been evident in his contributions to the organizations that he works for, including the International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics, an international research and development center based in Hyderabad, Telangana, India, Enchanted Kingdom, some of the world's leading IT companies such as IBM, Hewlett Packard, and Sun Microsystems, the Department of Science and Technology, and the University of Negros Occidental Recoletos, where he began his career as a Spanish language instructor. Along with being the director of the Science and Technology Information of the DOST, he is an active member of the International Public Relations Association and a volunteer for the NGO Bahay Tumuli and supports programs to help blind children acquire computer literacy skills through resources for the Blind Incorporated and adaptive technology for the rehabilitation, integration, and empowerment of the visually. He is now the driving force of the Star Books program and the DOSTV, a new platform that we are using to reach out to as many people as possible to deliver good news and stories about scientists, researchers, and their inventions and innovations in the many fields of science and technology. Now allow me to introduce our director, Sir Richard Pomar Purpose.
Good evening. Thank you for a very generous introduction. And good afternoon to all of you. Everyone is right in the last engagement prior to assuming the leadership role of DOST-SCMI was in India. In India, the population in India is 2 right? So now you know what 100 million Lama. Right? So there are 12 times the Indians that there are Filipinos. So you can imagine the distribution of their demographics. Napakadami nilang Indians. Right? So whatever our perception of Indian Filipino, that concept is fast changing. What is true is India remains leader in the science and technology fields. Okay? Now, una sila sa area of, let's say, rockets. Okay? They are tops. They are tops in engineering, especially computer engineering. Okay? Namumuna sila doon. I think most of the success of India is enjoying today stems from the fact that they do have a very specific career path for the scientists. If you ask any Indian today, ano gusto nila maging kalikuha, any Indian in Europe, ang sasabihin nila sa iyo, engineer, doctor. Sa atin, boxer, CM, diba? Medyo kakaiba. Of course, meron din sa kanila gusto maging star, maging movie star. Pero talaga, pagdating sa studies, the choices, the years are medicine and engineering. In fact, the Philippines is benefiting from an influx of new students wanting to study medicine in our universities because number one, our English is better, and number two, our educational system is cheaper. Okay? So napaka-competitive, napaka-mahal sa system. So, I look around the room and I see that it's a good mix. Okay? And that looking at you, I am even more inspired. So instead of me giving you inspiration today, this afternoon, I could have a lot of inspiration looking at you. You represent really the future of science careers. You provide. If you want to be a science journalist, you will provide the deep link. You will strengthen the those sense. Ang dami lang natin ginagawa. As you can see, the other more. Ang dami yung lumalabas from the national system na nakakatulong sa ating bansa. Ano ang kulang? Ang pamamahagi dito sa mga users ng mga technologies na not grow boys and girls in school, not grow opportunity squads. Dami kong nakaka-meet for the first time sila. Bakit wala akong narinig about the OST? And it's a common way. That can be frustrating because I know we're doing a lot of things. We have organizations, we are on radio, we're on television, we even set up our own television or broadcast platform. Still, they don't know. I have come to peace with that reality. Okay? Ang ibig sabihin lang yan, we should not give up communicating. It is a constant struggle to communicate. Kahit yung sinabi mo 2 days ago, kailangan sabihin ulit. Because the audience is better than you, they will not have heard the same thing 2 days ago. Okay? Kailangan malapit na. We do not sin by over-communicating. In fact, the most effective people in the world are old naggers. Right? They are the ones who make things ulit. Diba? They become effective. Right? The challenge of science communication is number one, the domain of science has this built-in advertisation. Parang ito mahirap ito. Design lang yan. And ito, science impacts all aspects of human endeavor. And therefore should be accessible to us, understandable to us. And we should have access to what the late advises. Uses the language cheap to explain concepts that may be difficult to understand at first glance. So, isa pang sinasabi ko, yung tao always say, hindi nila alam sa nakatanggap na message, information, news from the you try looking for information. Today's information seeking Dati-dati pupunta ka sa library ng research. Today, what do? You just push three buttons and you have access to all the information you want. But in our day-to-day life, we prioritize our hierarchy of information needs, di ba? So, kung natin tinitingnan, maybe, what is the weather for today? Next, what is the entertainment news for today? So yun, hinahanap natin, okay? Or Facebook, isip mo lang sa umaga, never mind sino yung katabi mo, ang una mong nakatubak ay yung cellphone. Diba? So, medyo, if your interest in science is sincere or realistic, then you should be a friend to portals that convey science information. For example, science.ph. Okay? Then go to an ating webpage. The US, madaling yan sa ating agencies. There is so much information there. Okay? For high school students looking for school projects, such a rich resource. Very little to know of science.ph. Very simplified address. Science. You want to know anything pertaining to science in our country, go to the page. Okay? Now, the other thing I wanted to share with you is we need to write in the language of English. We have to see many communities in the world today. Because they share the same proclivities, the same habits, the same preferences as the millennials that they want to work for or believe to. Millennials' habits are changing many things. Okay? The food preferences of millennials in the US, for example, have closed down many outlets of Applebee's because they don't like to eat there. Wow, goodness. You see the power of this generation, and this power lies also in our group of millennials. If they decide to act as one, if they decide to prefer one thing over another, they will impact things on. Okay? So we don't have powerful millennials. We need to reach out to them. If you're a millennial yourself, you need to reach out to at least 500 other millennials. Right? And then you can make an impact on those who are. Why are millennials important again? They're important because in the Philippines, they already constitute 50% of our workforce. 50% of our workforce mga millennials na yan. Hindi na obra yung na dati. Very hierarchical naman. Only na obra sa millennials. In the US, it's still about 10 times. But we have more young people. Okay? Our workforce is getting younger. And then you extend that 10 years from now, the millennials will constitute 75% of our workforce in the country. Right? The same native intelligence with regards to technology use. So, gone are the days when you have to go to a library to read and research or even to experience literary genius. Today, all of that is available in your pocket. So the power has moved, and we should move our science writing. So I really hope that you pick up a few things from this special session. It's really a special session attached to the celebration of the National Science and Technology Week. Okay? So even as we speak, maraming tao pa rin sa STI asking if they can come here. We tell them that you will need to PTTC and also communication seminars or workshops or guest Dr. So we ask them, just join us. You can organize something for your group. Okay? So if there are any concerns, make sure that you use your social media also to feedback to us. Okay? And don't let it end here. This for you who are engaging STI or TOS. first time, let this not be the last time. Because from now on, we can be friends. Like, you know, friends on Facebook, social media. And but we need you. We need you to also consume our assets. Because you're all over social media platforms. Ang dami po yan. Okay? And then, we will announce more things as we continue our engagement with each other. And then we continue to inform and educate the society around us about the benefits of science and technology. Thank you very much, and have an enjoyable and memorable stay here at PTTC and throughout this celebration.
Thank you very much, Sir Richard. Inspired po, no? Lalo na sa mga projects na agree ba kayo doon? Tayo lahat? Millennials? May kumakontra sa kabila. That's communication. Okay? So, let's move on to the more exciting, ito tayo palapit sa mga exciting aspects ng ating Writeshop. Okay? I'd like to introduce now our next speaker. Actually, he needs no introduction. Parang masyadong sikat siya sa FD. Kaya puntahan yung FD. Okay? Pero, ngayon, ang topic natin ay space technology. Sa ating tatahanin ng class, sa kalawakan. Okay? Hindi ko alam kung kilala natin siya sa mga alien. Kasi, ito pangalan niya ay sa philosopher and life. So, pili ka tayo. Okay? Our next speaker is a veteran science communicator. He is presently the chief of the Communication Resources and Production Division, or CRPD, of the Science and Technology Information Institute, okay, Department of Science and Technology. So currently, he is the executive editor, SNT Post, editor of the Balita Capitals. Then, SNT Post. Okay, and then siya. He finished his secondary education from the Anderson University in Manila. And he took his Bachelor of Arts major in English from San Pablo Colleges in San Pablo City, Manila, where he also finished his undergraduate. He earned from the same college some units in communication and management and is now a professional teacher. He took his Master of Professional Study in Development Communication from the University of the Philippines Open University in 2001 and enrolled 24 units of 4 courses for PhD in Extension Education from the College of Public Affairs, University of the Philippines, Commerce. He finished his PhD in Applied Cosmic Anthropology with distinction from the Asian Social Institute in October 2012 as a DOST scholar. Prior to his entry in government service, he was teaching in both high school and college levels while building a career as a social media local media practitioner. He then became the public relations officer and speechwriter of the office of the DOST secretary. He has also been sharing his expertise as a part-time instructor at the City College and with research classes on Saturdays and handles graduate courses at the San Pablo College's graduate school, also during weekends. So, ayan. He has published research articles and has been conducting lectures on writing and information and communication-related topics. At present, he is the Vice President of Philippine Science Journalists Incorporated. His advocacies are on communicating science and technology to the grassroots and helping them understand the importance of S&T, socio-economic development, and livelihood activities for the marginalized. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Aristotle Pereira Carta, for Sir Bobby.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rodolfo B. Guzman. I just don't know where you got that introduction piece. Before I start, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much again. Oh, I can see my friend over there. But people who dito sa unahan, si Mr. Nico Flores, PCWB. Yung taga-GMA din dito. DJ and tell you of the speakers. And another speaker is Tito Flores of PTTC. Thank you for visiting us. And another speaker is Dr. Cesar. Sila po yung mga taga-space. Ako lang po, I always want space. Okay. Anyway, of all of us here, ako po yung maswerte. Kasi po, ako yung may pinakamadaling topic. It's introduction. I'm just going to tell you something about science and religion. What happened before, what's happening, perhaps what will happen in the future. I have several former students here. Sana hindi ko kayo maging estudyante. Sila po ay special because they came from sa Pasay. Wala po sa DLSE. Lasaw po. DLSE, no? Okay. So, dalawang sa akin so, of course, to my fellow DLSE friends, thank you for joining us. And this is the first time that we'll be sharing this to you. But we've been conducting this like for 3 years already. And this is probably a special sessions as requested. Kumbaga, dapat yung mag-demand. Parang di ba? Okay, so, since this is quite intro, pag intro daw, may kasama history. Who likes history when you were in high school? Dalawang tao lang, no? It was so boring. No, it was so boring. But if you had a teacher like me, then you will have different thinking about history. Yeah, no? For those medyo advancing na yung age, I would like to thank Sir Rex for the prayer. So that's what I mean. See, if you are advancing already, you will know what I mean. DJ tomorrow. No. Kakwento ng buhay ako. So, yun po, part yun ng komunikasyon. How do you komunikasyon? Kung mahuhuli natin. And that is something that perhaps the younger ones, those we call the millennials, should address. And it's a reality that we as millennials should face. Okay? Hindi ka kasama doon. Kaming millennials. Ako po actually ay hindi millennial. Millennial po ako. Feeling millennial. Okay, so next please. So maraming salamat sa topic. But before I proceed to the main meat of my presentation, I would just like to ask, who among you, except from those within the system, know what is STW? May premyo. May premyo. Sige nga. Ito niyo po. This is an irony. This is an irony for us. Because we are the institution that tells stories. We are the one in charge of letting the people know what's going on in the science community. And yet the people don't know us. But we're okay with that. Just okay with that. Because it only means one thing. Okay lang kami with that. Di ba gaya ng ibang opisina, mas mahalaga ang opisina kaysa sa storya. Kami po ang mahalagang storya kaysa sa opisina. Pagkamat walang storya kung wala yung opisina. Okay. So, ang STI po, ay po na. I'd like to share with you a very, very short outline, which we think is a very powerful. Ano po ba yung gusto namin mangyari para sa bansang Philippines? We inform the principal. Because that's our business. We want to empower the people through information. For them to have, informed choice, for them to decide properly. At dapat, decision natin, na tayo sa science community, ay nakabase sa education, sa katotohanan. That's how we want to empower people. Through information that is timely, relevant. Diba? Yun lang po ang simple gusto mangyari ng STM. Just to share with you, maybe 2 slides. Ano ba ang STII? Kung nalaman sa akin, please. Yan lamang po ang aming mandato. No? Aming vision muna ay maging isang globally recognized center ng Pilipinas. Hindi pa kami kilala, but that's what we want to do. She, later on, very quickly, like, powerful realities, sectors. That's what we're trying to do. The improvement of Philippine society. Maybe not now, but near future. We want people to reform. Tayo lahat, lalo na yung millennials. Tayo millennials. Pero pag-ilan tayo mag-decide for ourselves. And our mission is to develop timely, relevant, reforming, accessible to the public through knowledge and research. Networking, building faster delivery systems, is quite research. And one of those is quite special. You know, have you heard about the Starbucks? Very good, thank you very much. Very successful and so far na yan. No? Actually, hindi naman kami nagmamaya pa. Nanalo na kami sa Anvil. Diba? We received the vote for Anvil for this. And we're all over. There's about like 1,500 sites all over the country. And our vision there is our most skills. Ang halayo pa yung mag-iwagos. And of course, we have the biggest library in the country. Yabang nun, ha? Yung collection. Philippines Library Museum. No? Ito sa SNT. No? At yun po yung nakakalat na sa buong sa and kung walang access sa information, sana po yung mga wala pa ito ay mag-avail. Kasi ano po, sana may hindi na kayo makapunta sa mga library, you can not need Starbucks skills. Yun po. Sa mga workshop, marami na ito. Yung kasama po sa mga yun po yung ating isang recipient would like to explain po the values of the DLSE that the reason for the accreditation of their library was the Starbucks. Sana ma-document natin yun. Document natin yan. Accreditation po. Starbucks as one of the best practices. Galing, no? Yaman kami sa buhay. Next. Okay. Dumiretso na tayo. Sabi nga nila, in the field of science communication, science communication is very relatively young. No? Sino ba nakakalam dito ng medyo exposed to science communication? Ganito pa ba? Kasi bata ba natin? Mga tatinalbi, alam na, dahil ba kayo? Sa DEFCON kayo, kapag sa DEFCON kayo, alam natin na hindi bata pa. Okay? Ikaw, bata pa mga science mo? Bata natin, alam na. So I'm asked, how young are you? Wow, he's 14. I'm just 2 years older. That's when I stopped counting. Okay, so napakabata po yun. Next. So ito po yung konting piece ko yung sinasabi ko sa inyo. Well, as early as 1637, during the Cartesian Revolution, tayo naman sa history niyo yung Cartesian Revolution. Very famous name associated with that revolution, which is René Descartes, right? Ilan naman natin sa René Descartes? Napipakit natin yung totoong hits. Hindi po ang pamagitan niya. Galing, matalo. Kasi totoong hit. Okay, so it's about this period. And the first is this conversation that we're having on the board. Not yet. Maybe that was your previous life. That was your previous life. Naniniwala kayo sa gano'n. Okay, next please. Okay lang ito, pakabyaw lang. And then, in 18th century, it took academic form in Europe, in other developed countries, during the Enlightenment period. During that time, people were questioning people already, no? Mga paniniwala, kita sa dito ang mga yun, no? Baka meron kayong naalala sa inyong history lesson. When people were starting to question the faith, okay? During the period of Enlightenment, there was this person posing something in the church. Kung sasabihin ng sila, kahit sa mga sa pangalan natin. Di ba, no?
Lolo ko lang yan.
Ano na natin. So, parang meron tayong chance mag-research area. Okay. Then records more than half a century ago, the Philippines is government. Kaya plano na. Kasi kung paring Alberto, no? Siya yung tinatagawin natin formally for science education in the Philippines. Science education in the Philippines. So, during this period, puro health-related lang yung lumalabas. Puro pang-alusugan lang. Next, please. And it was only during the early 2000s when formal organization was founded. Actually, in between those periods, may mga konti-konti lang. First, Science Congress, mga estudyante, yung mga ganyan. These are the major ones. And in the early 2000s, we noticed that was before her course. Even after World War II, science is called historic service of the Philippines, and early records of support among broadcast networks are also non-existent. Closest was among SSPs were mostly Next, please. May isang pagbabago that in 2009, there was a sort of people in the Philippines. They found themselves together. They call themselves as their organization, Science Friends. There were like 30 people. It was the very first president was Mr. Amiro Palmones. During that time, he was with PTTC. He's again. Now he's with RH. And fortunately, I was part of that small group. And I served all the presidents in the vice president until now. And we were also trying to get rid of them doing things like this. But we really want to professionalize the system. Those engaged in science journalism, science communication, we do become more possible. We assist them. So ito po yung mga pinagsimula. Okay, next please. Then, if we are to define science communication, simple lang naman po itong information tayo. So yung PLP din po, isa rin sila. Nakalimutan ko na yun kasi nung ako yung labo. Kailan ba ako na-ano? Tagal-tagal na rin, parang 2 days ago. Okay, sabi dito, but I don't encourage you to use Wikipedia as a reference. This is just to point out the difference and the similarity in coming up with definitions. Because Wikipedia, bakit hindi natin pinapayagan sa academic community? Wikipedia as a source. Can be? Yeah. So, although for this purpose, then take a look. Ano ba sabi niya? Sa definition of science law. Generally refers to public communication presenting science-related topics to non-experts. Right? Ano sabi ng isang universidad? Sa Maryland, successful dissemination of knowledge to a wide range of audiences, including non-scientists. Pareho naman, di ba? Are they the same? Pareho lang sila actually. In essence, they're the same. This is a matter of how you present it. Kaya parang opinion lang yan eh. May sarili kang sa'yo, may sarili siyang kayo. May sarili kang sa'yo, may sarili akong akin. But make sure that these definitions are siguro may masihan naman. Okay? So, for purposes na ng distinction, pinakita ko sa inyo yung Wikipedia. So, ito yung basic na pagkakamit natin. What is science communication? Okay. Sa science communication, lagi kasama dyan ang tatlong letra nito. IEC. Right? Sa school, tawag natin dyan ay information, education, communication, right? Tama po ba? May yung tinuturo sa atin. But this is tradition. This is correct. Nobody disputes that. And we follow that also. However, we The Science and Technology Information Institute, we have been contributing. Now we want to engage more people. And we want to be more proactive. So that's why we try giving ideas in different meaning. Itong kasi natin dito ng information, education, communication, di ba? Yung parts of speech yun, sabi ng English 101. Now, ang lang sila, di ba? Now. Kalimutan mo, di ba? Kung kailan ba kayo ng English? O parang kahapon lang yun, di ba? Parts of speech. Wala na ko ba yun? Okay. Pero sa STI, knowing ba? No? Sabi ko nga, let's be more proactive. So, binigyan namin ang potential pangalan. IEC, we define it now. They stand for inspire, engage, and convert. Pansin niyo, ano sila? Verb. No? Share mamaya na lang gusto lumapit sa akin. Sa story about teaching. Okay. So we eyes to inspire people. Because once you inspire people, it's easier for you to engage them and for them to be converted. Ano po ba? Kasi yung inspiration natin, it creates interest. By using social media, and it has to be experiential. I just don't know if anybody will disagree. Pag sinabi natin yung learning process, hindi effective yung experience. Effective talaga yun, alam natin. Di ba? So, kung ang science ko ay magiging experiential, kung paano natin paiintindi sa kanila yun, that would, I think, spell a big difference in our communication support. Malaki po may tutulungan. Simple lang po, sa maliit na example, bakit laging experiential? Balikan po natin ang konting tanaw lang. Although wala tayong gusto sa kahit sino. Yung nangyari po sa dalawang lugar sa Pilipinas, nagagawa ng bagyo. Yun pong tayo ng alin na tinatawag natin, ang pinakamanigula. Hindi po nila na-experience ang dalawang bagyo. Pero, na-experience nila lagi-lagi yung mga bagyo. They prepared. Yes, they prepared. But, preparation was too difficult. They didn't have one. Had they experienced it before. Pero wala eh. Kahit sa records, walang mahilig sa historia sa Pilipinas. Wala na-check na talagang ganong klase. The same case, which is a different case, yung nangyari po sa Mindanao ng Pablo. Yung lugar na tinamaas may Compostela. Hindi po nila alam ang bagyo. Dahil hindi naman talaga sila tinadaanan ng bagyo. So preparation was inadequate. You see, my main point here is, this is part of our culture. Kailangan po tayo ating ang safety. Ang hindi na-experience in the office. At parang hindi yung memorya natin in past minutes. Baka na kayo sa iyo. But I think that is part of our culture. The sense of history among the Latinos is the questioning, the debate of this almost non-existent. I hope it becomes a strong point. Learning your past for you to be able to secure your person. So yun naman po yun eh. Siguro may mahalaga para sa inspire, then we engage people once we inspire them, and then perhaps later on, mapakonvert na natin sila, what are the future science and technology? The science and technology would be the driver of development. Okay? So yung pre-conversion na sinabi natin. Buti na lamang, ibang agency na ng DOST, kagaya ng SCI, may mga score na sa mga music groups. Ilang porsyento, more than 80% of all those colleges na scores. Mahal din, hindi sa akin. yung mga tao mga rito sila. Okay, so I hope we can work through you, the communicators, and future communicators. Ano yung makakapag-tulong sa bawat isa sa atin, makakatulong na mag-convert sa kalidad ng isipan natin. Next, please. Yan. Isingin ko lang po ito, paborito ng lahat si Christine Basco. Siya po energetic pa rin hanggang ngayon. And if you have a copy of this over, I make sure that this slide is always present in all my presentations. Because it's important that we become sensitive. Sensitive at the very least, no? About women. Kaya dito. Kalahati, babae. Kalahati, lalaki, di ba ako sure. Diba? Iba naman yata sure na. Ayun sa laguna ako. Okay. So, sabi dito, hindi kaibigan Christine. Grammar rules that man in its generic sense applies to both female and male human beings. Yes. Before. Sa paggamit po nito, nakalimutan natin na may babae. Okay? So we really have to be sensitive. That's why we follow very as much as possible. Sabi po sa SBII, if you notice even in the print materials that we produce, lalo na po kung tinitingnan ko yung part na yan, please use na as in reference to human being, no? So dapat hindi po. Dahil nakakalimutan natin po ang mga kababaihan. Kagaya ng visa, pinakita ko ito for every reason. Discussion. 1 hour. Right? The choice of word ng lang. No? We have to bring in the women. So sabi ko, bakit palitan natin yan? Natin gawin ng 1 hour. Ano po ba dapat natin gawin? People power. Good answer, no? People power. No? Hindi ka ng jack-jack. Okay. Samahan ng bomba. Okay. Dapat po, gamitin natin yung say, human resource. Or sabihin natin kasi staff, reference to perhaps or personnel. No? Hindi lang manpower. Because women have power also. Sometimes, no, other parts of the body also. Okay, the next please. Let's not push them into invisibility. Ano maging sensitive tayo? Ano po? Nilagay ko pa itong slide na to. Very lang. Simple palitan lang. Pagdamit. Let's be sensitive. Chairman, chairwoman, chairperson lang. Pwede rin naman chair. Huwag lang table, ha? Ibang ibig sabihin nun. Chair. Craftsmen, ladies artisans, stewards, tawag na ngayon sa kanila, flight attendant. Pag ikaw po ay nasa aeroplano, tumawag ka na Miss Stewardess, alam nila ang ilan mo. Di ba, Mr. Mo? Okay, ito ba sa? Sorry po ako na sorry. Okay po, ito, congressman, congresswoman, very cool. This is a great term. This is a great term. Pwede naman siyang representative or senator. Okay? Or legislator. Huwag na lang sabihin, si congresswoman pala ay lalaki. Diba? Huwag na lang naman, kasi congressman pala babae. Parang sa amin, sa district ng Laguna, no? Ang aming congressman namin babae, Sonora Gomez. No, parang gano'n. Ay, Diyos ko po. Ano ka lang bakit? Palitan na natin. And of course, ay ito, kagaya nito. Isa good example. Manhood. Pagkain natin na to, para wala namang double meaning. Mankind, humanity, people, ito, napaka-bias man hours. Diba? Ginagamit kami. Nakita pa kayo nila yan. Man hours. 40 hours lang naman ibig sabihin na. Ako po, when I check articles, isa po saan, nasa likod ng aking isipan na binabantayan. let's be sensitive. And we report this to Sagad. Kasi requirement ng Sagad, yung mga nasa opisina mo, 5% ang budget din nyo yan. No? So, sama nyo yan. Mahalaga po sa atin, ma-identify natin. Okay? So, nakakalimutan din natin minsan, but let's start practicing and remind our peers on how to use this. Okay? Next, please. Ay, siningin ko lang po ito, share communication. Ito mga sanay po mga abroad, mga sanay mag-abroad dyan, yung science communication po kasi sa kanila is really just science, right? Nakahiwalay po sa kanila, health, agriculture, environment. But in the Philippines, when you say science communication, kompleto po yan. It's everything in one basket. Lahat ng science as science communication. But this is a special task force created by ACASA, special task force, and we're fortunate that the Philippines selected as to act as the secretary. Po yun, malapit sa and ang current chairman president is Korean, was India again, from India, no, si Manoj. Okay, si Professor Haksuki yung okay, next please. Ayan. Bigay talagang, kilala niyo siya? Sino siya? Is she your sister? And this is the father. Sino yung mga hindi nanonood dito? Alata ko alam ko sino hindi nanonood. Hindi na kilala. Pero, yan daw po ang state ng journalism, science journalism in the Philippines. Even in other countries. Medyo lugmok na. Lugmok na talaga. Talaga nagiging na. Which is true. Because people are around, no? Pag-usapan mo yan sa international events. Even Japan, even po sa Japan, bagsak. Sa US, bagsak. Especially po, yung mga newspapers, yung print, no? Bagsak po, hindi lang science journalism, kundi yung mga inyong nalilitan. And, so na, kilala nyo naman po ito. Yan. So, yun na lang sasakyan niya kasi wala kang budget cover science communication. Sumira na lang. Si Darth Vader ko na lang nag-supply. No? So, you see the number of newspapers now, these applications. But after a few years, ito na lang. Ito po yan. It's happening all over. Kasi in the Philippines, okay, maglalakasalat na kayo. It's not yet going to be like that. And there will be other platforms. Okay, don't worry. No? But if the other platforms, okay, na just great. Meron tayong online and everything. TV, video. But the next 10 years, hindi ko pumamatay yung print. May maglala. Well, India again. Sarap mo makaiba na sa India na yan. Ito na naman isang example ng amoy. Dahil na po ako 2 beses sa lulaki ng bulan. Parang kaya. Yeah. Kasi, stop ko nakikita ang stop over ay sa Singapore. Singapore. Change lane. Change lane na lang. Kaya din Singapore, okay na, from the Philippines, no? Okay pa siya. Then change lane ka na. Sa Singapore, papunta India. Yung gawin tayo na lang. Wala, sa kaya mo. Pasok na tayo na. But you know guys, no? Hindi yung tutok ha. Hindi tutok. Honest, I think the smell of the spices they eat. Sabi nga kanila, parang Pinoy nilamoy eh. Kung may pakistan tayo, baka hindi lang nilalang nakakain lang natin sa tayo na. It's true. Some people tell us, meron din na tayo. May packets. Patod mo, puti mo, this is okay. So, ayun po, talking about India, kakaibang kaso po siya. Because in India, Yung print as a medium is growing. Ang nakakatuwa doon, in one of its languages. Yun po yung survey na nangyari. May isang area po doon na talagang lutuan ng print because ang ginamit nilang lingwahe, yung kanilang vernacular. Perhaps it can teach us a lesson. For us to continue, maybe, just maybe, we can consider using the vernacular in some of our language. Yes. Diba? Kaya kung mapansin ninyo, ang DOST ay meron balita na e-books. Noong unang panahon po, just a few years ago, wala po kayong makikita ng informasyon ng S&P na Tagalog or in Filipino. Mga taga-DOST po matagal na. Kayo po ba, noong unang panahon, ay may nakikita o mababasahin na tuloy-tuloy, consistent in Tagalog or in Filipino? Wala po. It only started in January 2010. At nagpatuloy po. And what's good in this is, there are now 3 regions in the country na nag-adapt ng ganitong rapidos ang 5% ng content ay never na. So, region 11 po, meron. Yung region ng 6, we have. At nanalo pa sila sa PIA. Balitang rapidos nila, nanalo pa sa PIA. And then region 2. And we're happy. This could be, perhaps, a strategy. Hey, people, let's do what they love seeing or reading all the time. Maybe there is something to say yes. It's just a new thing. Next, please. Okay, ito na yung evolution. Sir, galing dyan, no? Yan. 2,000. Ang mga final ka na dyan, pay later. No? Credit card. Anyway, ganito pa yan. Hindi ko sila tanda. Ito ang presentation. Next, please. Okay. This things called blog. Ano sila? Ano sila? Yeah. Siyempre, kailangan yung reviews online. Like this part. Hindi ko pwede kalimutan. Kayo lalo na, di ba? Hawak nila lamang. Isa na kayo, makakapagod. Bakit daw mas malaki ang interaction? Pakabayo ka nila. For layout purposes, no? Kaya naman sales DJ. Every day ka makali and anything like that. Like kayo mga kasama. Like there's a doc. Napakabalik po yan. Hindi na nilingin. Tumawa siya. Of course. Yan is a may devotion. Napakamahal para sa bayan. Okay? So, these news portals, ano po ito sa ngayon? Dito po tayo papunta. Let's admit this. Dito po papunta ang ating science communication. But let's not forget the other platforms. Recent survey said that television is still number 1. But for us, producers of information, television as a medium can be very expensive. Okay? It really is expensive. Ang mga least expensive, ito. Online is the most. The least expensive. Because you just use your social media accounts. You're there. You're all over. But be very, very careful. Be responsible. So next, please. Okay? If you do blogs, maganda po yan. But make sure you, again, be responsible in what you write and upload. Kahit hindi lamang po sa Pilipinas kayo, ang mababasa, kundi maging sa ibang planeta. Mga pag-usapan ng Dr. Cecil Mariana. Mapunta ba sa Mars? Oh yes! I saw you with Uranus. And I love that planet. Okay. At binanggit ni Director Burgos kanina, science of PH. So, I am requesting everyone to please visit it regularly if you want to know the latest, no? The Philippine Science Community, because it's not just the university. It's everything science in the Philippines. It goes beyond the department. That's one of my science on classes. And there's a blog. I have a new blog entry, but isang linggo pa lang po. May nagpasa na, the robots, no? No, I'm sure hindi ko kasi, yun ang comment ng mga ang nilata. Napakahaba kasi, na-comment ka mahaba. No? Please visit the blogs and title to ng list Philippines. Yeah, I saw your comment. Thank you. The comments in this thing that you get. Oy, lalo mo yung naasa na, mag-isa na. Thank you, Lord, pa rin. Okay. I teach research naman po. Okay. So, you have the opportunity, no? Kayo na po yung nag-carry ng information. Hindi na yung mga professionals, although still a professional. But, majority of the population na nakakabit po sa internet ay pwede at maaari na maging disseminator po ng information. And if you're into science, my goodness, hindi natin masasabi, lalo malaki yung impact, especially the young ones here. And the young ones, the spelling ones who belong to the ONES, right? They belong to the ONCE. Okay? Next, please. If you have spare time, try blogging. Masaya na. Pero, physically sa akin. Susunod ko engagement siguro, okay. But this one, makapiyawan ko lang to. Pinanggit ko sa isang seminar namin sa journalism, in any form of life, you should always hear the truth, no? Your first obligation. As a person, magbibigay ng informasyon, you should always be truthful. Huwag kayong mag-invento ng istorya. Kung fiction writer kayo, okay. Established ng fiction writer, fine. Because it's going to be a very good story. But, kung gumagawa ka lamang ng istorya ng basta ko ay Jesus, ay Diyos ko po, nasabi ko sa iyo, please, don't ever do it. Kailangan po tayo laging sciences. Kailangan po tayo. Totoo sa science. And your loyalty is to the citizens. Dapat sa citizen kayo loyal. Sa tao, in this case, sa inyong readers. Kung sino man po ang reader ninyo, halimbawa, sa mga UST officers, you do reports, right? Ang inyong loyalty is to the reader or to your specific audience to report nila. Because the reports that we give out or we share to them should always be true. Based on facts. At hindi based lamang sa kapakapan. Mahalaga po yun. Next, please. So, ito naman ngayon ay reminders lang. Okay, mag-alala? But make sure that you continuously develop the skill that you will get from any training or seminar that you will get. Hindi mo na natapos sa classroom, hindi mo na natapos sa pag-attend sa isang seminar. Ang mag-develop ng ating kakayahan. Tayo pong lahat, kahit po kami lahat, ay patuloy pong umaattend, kumukuha ng mga karagdagang pagkakan at mga bagong tayo para masigurado natin na tama ang ating ginagawa. Patunayan na yan. Congratulations sa research yung ginagawa. Hindi mo na nalakipan sa kanila. Yes. Diba? Ang dito sa video, siya na naman ako ilang tao. So, magpapakilala na lang dapat kasama niyo. Okay? It's going out there. Over the rainbow. Okay. 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 Next, please. Tapos na po. Kung ito ito lagi mag-train. Mag-train. Matandaan natin. Science is conducted and applied by people. Yung mga scientists na develop ng information, no, are driven to pursue their field for the greater good. Wala po dyan mga scientist na gusto mamatay ang kapitbahay niya. No? Ang i-develop po niya ay mga magandang bagay. Tulad ng AGP sa MIRPC. Tulad ng train set. Diba? Kung ano man yung magandang bagay na dinidevelop. Ang mga services na ginagawa ng regional offices natin. They try to develop goods and services for the this is science. Okay? Hindi po ang intensyon na kung sino ang mananalisip ang makasira ng buhay at tumitil ng buhay. It's always for the good. Wala po talaga selfish na tao. Ako lang. Okay? And ang lahat pong ito should be communicated to the public and sa part ko ng DOST, the government, this is our way of showing the people where their taxes go. Isang pamalang ang pagsabi ng tama, ito lang po sa mga namin paraan para malaman ng tao. Na bahagi ng kanilang pinabalik sa gobyerno ay kumabalik sa kanilang sarili. Tandaan po natin, kaya meron po magiging tawag sa STI ay isang part ng activity na push the good news, which we always share sa mga kasama namin sa USC at sa labas ng USC. It is good that we share the good news so that people will still have like, have hopes. Hindi yung laging marinig kong minsan sa labas, walang pag-asa sa Pilipinas, mag-abroad ako. When I grow up, I want to be engineer. So I heard that from my kid. It really surprised me. No? Tama eh, kasi hindi na ito ang doctor. I want to be the examination. Yes, and once I heard, I want to be a engineer. Buti wala akong narinig na bata na laki na laki na gusto. So, paliwan ko lang tayo. Okay. So that, once we earn greater support, ito po natin sa to believe mo to believe that there is hope through science. Okay po ba yun? Next, ang ito po kasunod ay nararamdaman ko isang pamamahala. Di ba na nga? Muli at lahat ginagamit itong slide ito dahil ito po sa mga scientists na gumagawa, researchers, at kung ano po lang para sa lahat. Mahalaga ng mga ito ay malaman ng lahat. At tayo po, bilang nasa komunikasyon, tayo po nagsisipikulan para ipaalam sa bayanan ang mga naitatagong lihim dito ng ating mga analysts. So hanggang dito na lamang, ang aking sasabihin sa inyo ay maraming salamat. Tayo po ay tuloy ng trabaho. Kailangan natin ang magandang pagkakas. Thank you very much. Nagising pa kayo doon. Maraming nakalaman. Okay, so ito na tayo sa pinaka-meat ng ating mga discussions ngayon. We will start with that. But siguro, isip pa ba kayo? Di na? Tulog? Pero isang ano lang, para magising, okay? May malaking premyo tayo. Nakikita nyo ba yung ating banner dito? So, Communicated Space Technology. Sino sa inyo nakakaalam na meron na ang Pilipinas na first microsatellite? Ilan? Ilan yung task? Okay, anong pangalan? Volunteer. Okay? Sana? Yun. Yeah. Diwata satellite. Okay? So, mga Filipino scientists and engineers natin ang gawa yan. Okay? Now, kung mapapansin nyo, ito yung tarpaulin natin na project. May nakikita pa kayo dyan, Diwata. Okay? Sino makakapagsabi sa akin yan? Una.
No? Mhm. I don't think so. Oo, magaling pagtago yung digital artist namin yan. Kung nasa. Gordon Trion. Sino? The lady in Dubai? Yeah? Yeah, how many? And the one in my classes, yung grade. Bilangin mo nga. Show it. Ha? Ah, one. Number one. Two. Three. Four. Five. Okay, correct. Five. Dahil dyan. Wala eh. Hindi namatay. Meron daw ang diman. Gamitin mo Bible. Okay? Sige. So, to continue, let me introduce our first speaker for this week. No? Actually, after that talk of our two guest speakers, magkakaroon tayo ng Writeshop where you will write about science and they will be mentoring you. Okay? So for the first speaker, he graduated with a creative writing degree from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and is currently the Science and Technology Editor of GMA News Online. He is also the president of the Philippine Cyber Press. He is a recipient of the DOST Scouts Lima Award for Science Communicators and an alumnus of the Asia Journalism Fellowship, the Netherlands Fellowship Program, CERN School Philippines, the Cinnamon University National Writers Workshop, and the Iligan National Writers Workshop. Our well-rounded speaker is also a highly respected lecturer, science education advocate, a science fiction writer, and a violinist. Those grades, left and right, gumagana. Okay? So, sometime this year, yun na, ang sikreto. Am I allowed to reveal it? Mr. TJ? He will be leaving for the United States to pursue his Master of Science Writing at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology on a full-time scholarship. Let's give him a big hand. Okay? So, without further ado, please welcome Mr. Timothy James M. Dimatang.
Okay, so before I start, something like journalism for example, I'd like to discuss some my points. People in the public tend to think of journalism as you have this really like for journalism. Journalists tend to think they know everything, but actually the opposite. First thing you remember, right? It's not just as a journalist, it's a reporter. And that's why you pursue stories. Because you start out with pursuing it. Connecting this to science journalism per se. Even my own colleagues, I have problems. I have problems sometimes. I have the pleasure of working not just in GMA, but across the industry. I'm very popular with even though we're from various agencies. There is what I noticed is that even in media itself, when you talk about journalism,
I work, I'm a pleasure working in college. At the drop of a hat, I can tell you, one of the tapos sa marami. Ito yung mga political clan na dyan. Si ganito, mayor ng ganito, ganito yung mga kamag-anak niya, kaya may rules. They do it so easily, nakakatulad siya. But two things, jumping off from what I said earlier, is this kinds of knowledge are things that the reporter, the journalist finds out by pursuing the story, by going, by asking questions, by finding out things about the story they write about. It's not because they start out knowing. And what does this have to do with science? I've noticed even again, when even on my accounts, the tendency is this. When you talk about science, biglang nagpapako ko. Ano yung science ang which is kind of surprising because again, like I said, we have people who are able to go through such complex issues, such political issues of that. Pero pagdating sa science, parang, oh, you need to talk to science about this, and then you get soundbite, and then it's analysis, followed through one process. And that should be the case. I want to tell you all, when you feel as a writer, as a journalist, when you feel that you don't know anything, it's actually the most powerful decision. Why? Because you're on the same level as you are on the same level as the people you serve. But unlike your audience, you have an opportunity to clarify those questions. That's why it's so journalist. Because you have committed your time and effort to hunt down the experts, to hunt down people who don't know the answers, and collect these answers for the people. That is true for the political story, that is also true for science. So when you are confronted, even when you're confronted by science or science data, the process is still the same. I don't understand this completely. Why is it important that they understand? So why does my audience need to understand this? And then you start to ask questions. And also, added to that, don't feel upset if you don't understand. Don't feel stupid. Yes, you have to do research beforehand when you input resources, but don't be afraid that you're going to stupid. Again, as I said, you are on the same level as your audience. They don't understand things, you don't understand. Kaya ka nag-pursue this. Kaya ka Okay, so after that pretty long preamble, I'll go to the slides. These slides will focus, I'll delve a little bit into what it takes to write a story. But since I presume some of most of you are going to be writing, I'll just gloss over that. What I will focus on towards the end is how to package your stories for social media. So next, first sentence. Okay, so I told you I got these key points from Dr. Sese and Dr. Sese. He's will disagree with me that he's the face of the Philippine Space Agency, probably the face of our thrust into outer space. But anyway, he will have his own talk later, and I hope you pay attention to the issues that he discusses. But I asked him actually just earlier today, any mga key points, or in this case, the key development areas of the Philippine Space Program, and he converted them to his scholars. National development and security, hazard management and climate studies, space research and development, space industry capacity building, space education awareness, and international cooperation. What do all these things have in common? They are very nebulous topics. They are, diba? They're very big, grand things. And if you spend time thinking about them, you'll probably get a grasp of them. Pero they're very general, they're very broad. Just like this. So the question remains, as journalists, how do you concretize these abstract concepts? Visualization helps with understanding this. The quicker people understand, the more likely it is for the cause. An example of the Kickstarter. Have you gone to Kickstarter websites? And Kickstarter? Marami nakakalagan doon, nakakalam. Yung Kickstarter kasi, simple lang yung ano yun. You go to the website, there are so many people who make things. Diba? And then they will try to convince you to fuck them. Diba? And you can just listen to Kickstarter.com. But the point is, you know this, na Kickstarter, meron silang video or at least a very clear explanation project they want to try. And they have visuals. The most successful Kickstarter campaigns are those that have a clear visual and feel concrete. They're able to concretize the benefits of that project. And that's how they get funded. That kind of mentality works here as well. Because yes, we understand eventually the fact that we're all here and is to be the fire where you say that yes, we all know that it means it's perfect. But when you're talking about it to a general audience, the people who would be asking, why would I spend money on this topic? How would I make it? Don't we have people in the streets for hundreds and etc. Then you need to compromise for them, bring down to earth those concepts that you mentioned earlier, and show exactly what kind of benefits people can find. And the more concrete the examples you look at, the more we can visualize the pains. That's and you can see this in how the United States handled its lawsuits through the 1960s, 70s, and even today. I don't remember, but when they launched, when they decided to land a person on the moon, what they did wasn't just technological, they also they hired different artists to make visualizations of what it should look like. And Robert McCall, you can Google him, he's one of the most famous illustrators of art, actually one of artists' concepts for NASA at the time. So this, you notice, it's an artist's rendition of the space shuttle. It was made even before the space shuttle was created. So you can see if you remember what the space shuttle looks like, it doesn't quite look like this. But the point the point of drawings like this was to show the American public and the world at large that this is what the future can look like. This is what we can do. Robert Duvall also did some work for 2001 Space Odyssey with the groundbreaking films of science fiction. This is his illustration of space station. This kind of space station is shown in the movie, pero we have for a variety of practical reasons we don't have the classes or stuff. Iba yung sa work of the International Space Station. And that's a different story. But again, the point is that you had a space agency that was doing research into technology, into putting people in space, and they had an artist to show the public where they were headed. This is where their tax money goes. Here's another example of space station and the water and Ginagawa's spaceship. This is already purely hypothetical. This kind of technology did not pan out. But going back to the concept of visualization is that it showed the public what could be done, what could be possible if we put our resources together to take a space. So you notice it is very nationalistic actually. Sa kanila, na meron ang United States flag with a thing, and yeah, there's being NASA, it gave you a sense that you're really hey, NASA is making a thing if you're aware. That's and even today, future as a whole edition is different from it is not as shiny perhaps as it was envisioned. But yeah, it's still life. NASA is still very much on the business activities. But even today, the U.S. Space Agency recognizes that there is a need to run public support. Run public support through visualization, putting a concrete images into the public's minds. And that's why every mission, even today, even if it's just someone going up to the space station and coming back, there will be an mission patch. It's no sort of things. The one that I'm sorry that I should have mentioned, I that even the one that they are only on a solution patch. The one that would also have solution patch. And I can show you the so why not us? Why can we not envision the future for ourselves? Why not look at the way science can be in the future and empower nation through science? One of our stories about really, really wonderful is this image. The original obviously was not a Philippine flag. It's obviously a Photoshop image. Kasi sa totoo, the original wala kang school astronaut. So, it's a Photoshop image. And it was very controversial kasi some people say, ano yan, bakit kung yung space program maglalagay sa tayo ng apps? Why kung sa akin yung that of course was conceptual. And it was a misconception because it was a risk that we understood and undertook. Because the real message that this image implies is that Filipinos can pursue space science. It is more, it's not obviously it's not a factual image, it's more inspirational image for the audience. Next slide, please. Or something like this. We also use images like this. Problem again, the problem again with not just with the space program in general, but for with the lack of science is that you need to concretize, you need to maybe visualize the dynamics what's going on. And sometimes abstract concepts don't have an analog in the real world. Which is why sometimes you need to have inspiration. Next step. So what can we do as writers? We dream the future. Imagine what the Philippines can be like during space program. What? Manage expectations. Look at immediate impacts, short and near-term goals, and most importantly, make it to be relatable to the audience. So I highlighted those two things because those are those are various aspects of safety. On the one hand, yes, dream big, think of the future. Imagine what we can do like 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Imagine if we had our own launch facilities. But there's nothing wrong with dreaming big. But you can't just do that. The opposite side of that is making it immediately relatable to your audience. You need to pull down, put your feet on the ground, and look at the space program as it's unfolding, and you need to address the general public concern of why are we doing this? What are the immediate benefits now? What are the things that how will this benefit us in the short term future, in the near term future, not just the long term future? Because obviously the bigger dreams come from smaller steps that we take in the here and now. Next slide, please. So going back to the key development areas of the Philippine Space Program. I'd like to encourage you to all to pay close attention to Dr. Sess's speech later, his talk on our labor. But here are some angles that are worth pursuing. I'm not saying that you do this long when you're right, but it's just an example. Why? Okay, the space program is supposed to help with national development and security. How so? Will it help in our enforcing border security? Well, today, as we know, we have problems with incursions from China into our waters. Could it help with that? If putting a satellite into orbit will help us? Will it help us look at the borders more closely? Will it help us monitor them more closely? Wildlife pollution is also another problem. Can satellites help? Maybe, maybe not. Dr. Says will be a better person to ask. But
I think these are possibilities. But the point that I'm getting at is that you have abstract concept, but you look at what concrete things concrete benefits can happen from near term perspective. Hazard management. This is something that we always run on interviews because it's the most valuable of all the pillars that has immediate impact on everyone. Among most other countries, tayo's growing demand, and we know what it's like to be hit by typhoons. If you talk about typhoons, if you talk about natural disasters, those we strike more in the public, perhaps more than anything else. So if you talk about the space program in terms of that, how it will help monitoring typhoons, how it will help monitoring crops, etc., that might interest your audience too. Space research and development. Will we be able to build our own weather satellites, for instance, in the future? Will we be able to develop our own space capabilities? NASA has had a track record, for instance, of everything from blankets to microwaves, actually, are in the result of a lot of consumer technology that was a result of research that was conducted by NASA over the past half century. So perhaps we can do that too. DOST is already involved with a lot of research across the country and with a lot of industries. Who knows? Maybe the space program will help us develop our own futuristic programs. The next slide, please. Space industry capacity building. If we're going to develop our own space industry, we'll be talking, bringing up with other countries. What would that be like? Will we see other countries bringing their rockets here to launch them into space? Is there such a thing as space tourism? Not necessarily, but maybe in some hopefully mid-term, not too distant future, when you send people into near Earth orbit, for instance, as tourists on a regular basis. Diba hindi lang siya pangmayaman, hindi lang siya pang Elon Musk or kay Richard Branson? Who knows, diba? And wouldn't it be great if we had that here? Space education awareness. Better from we have a space program inspire the public to be more aware of what's happening in the sky. Will we be able to better understand the weather, for instance, and understand what data we have? For instance, Project Noah has Doppler readings all the time. And yet we still need to ask, is it going to rain? Or where are the winds happening right now? We need to just look at the website and look at where the clouds are. And you know within a 10-minute frequency of updates. International cooperation, strengthening ties with space nations and mutual aid. If we're going to have our own space program and we're churning out this data using our own facilities, can we also rely on other countries to do the same for us? What will that result in? Will that result in better coverage for weather monitoring, for instance? As I said earlier, monitoring for conditions in the country, etc. These are a lot of questions. But the point of all of these questions, the point of all of these things, is simply that, as I said earlier, you have a very big ideas, but you need to bring them down and compromise them for your audience. Next slide, please. Okay, next, communications. So, this is probably very basic for all of you. Concept of proposal. When people read websites, they read, especially if they're using Roman languages like us. Of course, the pattern will be different in, say, Arabic or Japanese. But generally, if you use a Roman language, with Roman lettering, you read from left to right, up, down. And the way people read websites, they are not on F pattern labels because most people will read the top, and then if they're convinced they have to read more, they'll read the next. But some of them will pull back, I don't want to read this anymore. And then the next, pakunti ng pakunti, which is why that's why it has this F pattern that diminishes as it goes down. Because the idea is that most people will read their headlines, and then fewer and fewer people will read until the very end. This is also an explanation for why web news is usually short, 400 to 500 words long. Yes, there is long form,
journalism, and it's still powerful, and it's still necessary. But there are the majority of articles online are very short. Necessary. Ito, alam mo siguro sa mga classes ko ito, inverted pyramids. The idea, this diagram is particularly interesting because it shows you why a pyramid structure is important in the context of a website. Obviously, not the entire article will be visible on screen at the same time, especially if you're on mobile. So there will be just this chunk that is visible at any given time, which is why, going back, which is why the pyramid structure is important, especially for online articles, because they will see your intro first before everything else. It's only after you've convinced them or they're interested and engaged enough to look through your article that they will scroll down and see the details and which is why the meat of the article is on. Okay. Virality. The headline photo compost usually the difference between virality and security, especially on social media. We found at GMA and practically elsewhere that, and as I said earlier, people will engage your headlines, but they might taper off, your audience will taper off farther down. But the point of the headline, because it's often your first and last point of contact on Facebook feed. When you scroll through your feed and you see something of interest, you read it. Otherwise, you just scroll through. So the idea is to grab people's attention right away. Hopefully, they click through to your website or click through to your article. Next slide, please. So here are good examples of headline photo combos. Yeah. This article, I always use this article as an example because it was surprising even for us. Einstein's last prediction close to confirmation. To put this into context, this was a wire story, meaning it was not exclusive to GMA. In fact, a lot of other websites carried it. But although the body remains unchanged, we were at liberty to change two things: the headline and the main photo. And surprisingly, for GMA being obviously a Philippine-centered website that focuses mainly and caters mainly to a Filipino audience, this article about Einstein went viral. In Facebook shares alone, it was over 9,000 shares, 449 retweets, and nasa group email. Wow, anyway, I'm surprised too. But anyway, bakit siya nag-viral, especially on the Philippine website, catering to an audience that is generally not interested in science? What made this article so special? Here's what we think happened. Number one, as I said, people left to right, top down. So the most important things in the headline is on the left, Einstein. So we can all agree pretty much that whether or not you're a science nerd, everyone pretty much has an idea of who Einstein is, diba? Kahit hindi mo alam kung ano yung theory of relativity, alam mo, Einstein is a genius. Diba? Meron ganun popular concept. So we played with that idea. So that's why we put Einstein on the very first part of the headline, because we knew it's the first thing that people will read when they scroll to their feed. Next part, no, not that one. Next part is last prediction close to confirmation. We chose those words very carefully. Last prediction sounds very ominous. So Nostradamus. What did he? Einstein's last prediction. What did he predict? Did he predict the end of the world? Did he predict aliens arriving on Earth? It is really very mysterious, and we use that to our advantage. So Einstein's last prediction close to confirmation. So it gives a sense of suspense. So the takeaway from this is, if you are scientifically oriented, you would get a sense of what this article is about. You might even have if you were following the news at the time, you might even have an idea of what this prediction was. But even if you are just a layman who doesn't know anything about Einstein, it's still fascinating because it has this whole ancient aliens vibe. Ancient, I can't remember the confirmation. And to the icing on the cake was this photo that we chose of Einstein, which shows him looking out into the distance. Um, it's a very iconic photo of him. So it looks like he's looking out and predicting the future. So the image ties in with the image visual ties in with the headline. And the headline it's not I think no that I am not advocating clickbait headlines. But what I am saying is that you should be able to craft your headlines in a way that identifies a large audience. So again, as I said, this kind of headline appeals to both scientifically minded people and laymen. Uh, so let's compare this to the original text sentence. Yes, this is the exact original article as appeared in. So I forgot where this came out. But anyway, gravitational wave rumors ripple through science world. This is the original story, that's the original headline, and that's the original photo. Compare that with Einstein and now. If you're a layman and you're not interested in science in general, gravitational wave rumors. Ano yun? Why would I read this? Diba? So it might not fly with the Filipino audience or even general audience that is not interested in science. And then ano ba? Ripples through science world. So it's a niche or market. Hindi ako scientist. Why should I care about this? Why should I read this? Coupled with a photo that shows the scientists involved, pero hindi naman sila kilala. You don't know who they are. The bulletin of the atomic scientists, you're not quite sure what's happening. Even the doomsday clock. Does anyone know what the doomsday clock is? Good. Good. Very good. But if you don't know what it is, it might be relevant to you. So, why, if for general audience, it might not work. If I remember correctly, this particular the story ran as is like this. This was a screen run from Science Alerts like that. Or I think, but that works for a scientific audience, but perhaps not for a general audience. Next slide, please. Okay, something more close to home. Philippines' first microsatellite unveiled in Japan. When we were doing stories about Iwata, ang frustration ko at the time was that up until relatively late in the game, there were no photos of the actual satellite. Which was frustrating because as a writer, as a journalist, I did want the public to be excited about the project. But how can you excite the public about something that they cannot see, they don't understand what it is? Diba? This is one of the earliest photos. There was part of a set of photos that came out known as Ocean Satellites Again. And I was like, finally, we know what it looks like. And finally, you have a scale reference for the person. Diba? So this photo, we chose this photo for several reasons. Number one is, obviously, yes, it finally gives you an idea of what you want out of it. And secondly, it gives you a scale with the person. So okay, finally, we know it's not bus size, we know it's not car size, it's small. We now understand that what microsatellite means in this case, diba? Because it's about one box size thing. Diba? Plus, it offers a human element. You have a person standing next to it, not just to provide scale reference, but also to give it a sense of human. What do I mean by this? Imagine if this photo did not have the person there, it's just the box. Just the box. Not only not only would you not know how big it is, it would be unrelatable. Diba? What is this? It's a square. Diba? You didn't have to have the person. But now you have the person there, so it provides them a size, and it provides a human dimension. To be honest, this is actually one of the Japanese people. You know who this is. But anyway, yeah. But he's actually one of the Japanese people. But well, at least not a master. You can at least imagine this. Um, anyway, couple this photo with the headline. Philippines first Microsoft in Japan. So notice the elements of that headline. Philippines, Microsoft went first unveiled in Japan. We could have turned the headline the other way around and said Japan, or put Japan unveils Philippines first Microsoft, or first Microsoft of the Philippines unveiled Japan. But going back to the concept of this earlier, linear top-down data information, the most important part of the headline is the very first words, Philippines. When you're scrolling through your feed, okay, Pinoy Pride always works. So, oh, here's a story about the Philippines. What's it about? Well, some kind of scientific. What is it? First microsatellite. Oh, Philippines first microsatellite. That's what it looks like. Yay! And it's unveiled in Japan. So, gets union and union correlation between the photo and the headline. Your headline should grab your readers, and it should be complemented by the photo. Here's another example, really going into the space program. We had this article about dinosaur graveyard reveals clues to mass extinction. This is one of those examples of stories where an artist's depiction is important. As I said earlier, because with the space program, since a lot of it is still being laid down, and a lot of it is still not complete and real and easily visualized, sometimes you need to employ artists to help you to help make it real, the mind's eye. And the dinosaur stories like this are a good example of that. So obviously none of us were alive, see the dinosaurs. We don't know what they look like in real life. But that's why you have paleontologists and that's why you look at film artists working in paleontology because they help us understand what these bones look like when they were still covered with flesh. And for stories like this, it helps dramatize the importance of events. So going back to this dinosaur graveyard, we choose up the masses. We all know that the dinosaurs were extinct because of the Shih Tzu impact. And this is a very good illustrate artist's representation of the moment of the impact. So again, complementary visual and the headline. Dinosaur graveyard, and we put dinosaurs up front because hey, everyone likes dinosaurs. Most people understand what dinosaurs are. Reveals clues to mass extinction, and then we tie in the idea of mass extinction with this visual. We chose this visual, this very artist representation because it's a very powerful image because it shows the almost the exact moment so it adds drama. It's a headline. Next slide, please. Here's an example of a visual and a headline that seem to have no correlation whatsoever. Kids at risk from the El Nino's effects. Obviously, there are no kids in the photo, and there is no El Nino in the photo. But why does it work? Kasi, unang nagpunta natin yung headline sa very short headline. Kids at risk from El Nino's effects. The wording is short and crisp, but the photo highlights what the news effects are. But without reading the story, you can infer that okay, whatever's happening when it's making classrooms empty is keeping kids from going to school. So you can get that sense just by looking at the photo and looking at the headline. Next slide, please. Okay, so those are some good examples. I will also show you bad examples. To be fair, they're also from my own experience. Ako rin ang may tatlo. So I'll show you about these examples. I'll show you why we must not. Okay, so next slide. So here we have an example: strong headline of a weak visual. Mysterious. Mysterious ancient humans once lived alongside delicious plants. Just like the Einstein article earlier, it's a very powerful headline. Not clickbaity, but it has this ancient alien feel to it. Diba? And if you happen to be a sci-fi or fantasy geek, it has all the elements there. In ancient humans, in ancient aliens, in how it's taught, because of science, fantasy, it plays on this popular culture notion. Very powerful one, but it's marked by this visual. What is that? Kasi ako, ang kwento nito actually was that when we got the article and we ran with it, of course the first thing I looked for was photos of the hominins that were involved. But the only photos that were available were this kind of rocks. But these actually are the stone tools that the hominins used in for encounter on Earth. Leading to the story. Tapos merong lens cap for size reference. And at the time, when I saw it, okay, we don't have any other photos, so let's just run with this. And okay, expect it could have been done. If I had an artist on board at the time, I could have probably asked for a visual of the humans and models. But at the time, yun, nilulubulis ako, okay, maganda na yung headline natin, let's just run with this. But it falls flat because sayang, malakas yung dating yung salita, yung text, pero hindi na yung visual. Next items. Ito naman, strong visual with headline. Kahit hindi mo nabasahin yung headline, ang lakas ng image nito ng people sa gitna ng kawalan dito. It's barren land and it seems to be the only moving things. Of course, it's not image though. Di ba, parang nag-isa lang siya is barren wasteland. So it's a very powerful image that conjures up the idea of the human. Tapos, in headline niya, US weather forecasters sees and conditions. And it's a weak headline. I don't know, I forgot why I ran this in retrospect. Could have been better. But I realized that it also going it's a why is it a weak headline? Again, going back to talking about the linearity of now. General audience ka, US weather forecaster. Ano pakialam mo sa US weather forecaster? Hindi na ito mabasahin. Diba? And meaning conditions. So if you see this, US weather forecaster, baka hindi mo nabasahin yung conditions weekly. Or even if you read the entire headline, it's not a weekly part, but the forecaster or the place in the US was talking about the new conditions globally. Diba? It gives the mistaken impression that this is just for the US, which is, for my purposes, talking to Philippine audience. It falls flat. So sayang, very strongly that you visual mo, pero weak in headline. What could have been done is, again, talking about ordering words. We could have put a legal conditions weakening slash US weather forecasting. Or a legal conditions weakening says US weather forecasting. That would be more powerful. That would have worked better. Next slide, please. So, virality. The headline is your first and oftentimes last chance to move your audience. The headline and photo should complement each other. The impact of a good headline and photo combo lies in its ability to appeal to as many of your senses as possible. Which is why, going back to the context of the space program, kaya maganda na magtanong tayo at mag-usisa and try to understand ano yung mga concrete benefits. Of course, the near term, not so much the better, but mid-term, long term. Try to understand how this will impact the public, how positively, negatively perhaps, but paint the ideas to paint a picture in their mind's eye of what the space program can do for us. Next slide. And that's it. So if you want to just add me up to your Facebook. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So yan, meron na tayong tools. Right. Marami tayong tips na bulot Sir PJ. And later on, we will touch on, Dr. Cecil will be discussing kung ano yung ating susulat yung tapos na later on. So, We can entertain a few questions, mga tatlong questions because we're running out of time. So, we presented already the background on science writing and reporting. Then Sir PJ discussed the tools that we can use to hone our skills. So, our speakers are here in front, so you can ask a few questions. Just state your name, your affiliation, and school or office, and then your question. And probably one question, then one follow-up. Okay? So, anyone? Come on, volunteer. May premyo. Uh, wala. Sige na, huwag kayo mahiya. There's a microphone. You can approach it and para may, okay, sir? There's a microphone. There, on your side. Right side. Is it on? Is it on? Baka na. Wala, dito na lang. Okay? Sige, state your name, your school, affiliation, then the person you want to ask.
Good greetings, my name is John from LPU. My question for if possible to you is this: I'm very fascinated and interested when it comes to space exploration and space agency. I don't know if it is to one avenue, but I'm really want someone to answer this question from the university, bothering for um, for worker. Is the UST or is the UST willing to cooperate or is or vice versa with the private sector or other companies, CEOs to invest in space exploration or space technology because in my perspective, in the US, they have companies like the SpaceX and in Amsterdam group who is planning some people to plan for some people to go to Mars. So is the US willing to cooperate with the private sector and other companies to invest in our national space program?
I don't know how that, but yeah, it's just it reminds me. Okay, but I really touched that up on that later. Actually, in a way, yes, because as you noticed in what TJ has presented in the key development areas, one of the KDAs is space industry capacity building. So when we talk about space industry, it's not just the government, but mostly the private sector. So so we have talked to also to actually PESA, PTTC sector on how we can use and actually even some startup groups who are interested in investing in space. And well, I don't know if I should say it, but there's also one of the top three aerospace companies in the world who's interested in investing here in the Philippines. So I can't really on which one is that. So to answer that, yes, but I have to clarify one thing that when we talk about space industry and their engagement in the space sector, the space development, most of the time it's actually towards the latter part of mature na yung space program. Most at the early stages, it's always the government, the military who's investing more money, but that will come also in the latter part. But we understand how important the space industry is. That's why it's important.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any more questions? Second. Kahit ano, kahit love life, pwede rin. May mga love guru naman tayo dito. Sino pa? Kuya.
Question ko lang po, paano niyo po mag-draw yung line
is how do you draw it? The line between clickbait and interesting headline. The Simon Singer line. Clickbait headline. The reason why clickbait headlines are annoying is because they are just that. They're just there to make you click, but there's no follow through. Think of all the clickbait headlines that you've seen that annoy you. This is the most interesting thing you've seen today. Or this one trick will solve all your problems. And the thing is, the headline person, to be fair, it's not grammatically, semantically, it's okay. Pero masama siya, annoying siya, just when you read through, it gets you down, It gets you down. When this jumping cat is going to make me happy all day, really, diba? So the bottom line is when you write, not just headlines in general, you don't overpromise and underdeliver. So when you do a headline, what makes it clickbaity is kasi dun lumalabas yun. Kaya siya clickbait kasi the only purpose of that headline is for you to go to the website. And after that, after you visit you, they can deliver the website. But the point of any headline, any decent headline, should be to inform you what's there. And hopefully you want to know more about it. But when you get that, you have to do it. So basically, to summarize, the difference between clickbait, really bad clickbait headline, and interesting headline is interesting headlines don't overpromise and underdeliver. Next question.
Huh?
Since we're in the topic of weekday, so I have a question. Since how does fake news spread and how does internet spread?
Interesting as a question. Just to be honest, was one of the last places I thought we would be talking about things. But first of all, that's true. It's not important. But the truth is, ano was lahat, masama dahil nasa science, there should be because even because we should be trained to follow food sources. So that is when you look at big people, you don't just take the case value, you look through the original sources. And the thing with fake news, and in a general sense, and in science particularly, I think fake news happens here in the sciences, more particularly towards charged and source cancer cures. Global warming and human happiness is obviously affected by accidents. In the States, fake news about global warming that global warming supposedly is happening in the States. They were talking about this. But the thing is, the reason why fake news spreads is because it resonates with you. Again, going to what you asked about clickbait next, clickbait headlines over promise, but they also resonate with you. They tend to support what you think is right. And that's why the tendency, okay, this is more apparently politics than this is science. Okay, so and so did this. Okay, see, they're doing it wrong. This politician did this. Obviously, they're not going to spread because they tend to reaffirm our biases. But the good news, supposedly about in science is that this should not happen because we're supposed to follow through the process. Through the study. So this is study science. Um, Spreading the way I think the method was how do you combat it. The best way to combat misinformation is if someone makes a claim, prove it.
Snopes should be a very good reference for anything that you suspect should be fake news. You find that check it out. Maybe it's just another one of those elections. Please, as soon as you notice something you call your friends, right? Correct them. You make it look better. Huh? You make it authoritative. That's a lot more. And that's what scientists should do. Set the record straight. Now, if they persist, alright, you still have one option at your disposition. Unfriend them. Do not yoke with the infidels. Okay? Unfriend mo na sila. They don't deserve your time in this case.
Just would like to add one more. That's why as the sana mag-clarify for information literacy. No? What kind of information yung dapat makita aware? No? So sana lahat tayo, kasi atin po, media people, I'm telling you, no? Kaya professionals, minsan, they are information illiterate, no? So kailangan po natin mag-push information literacy. Kasi, because of all these things.
Since we're talking about fake news, one of the most common fake news that I usually see about space, which happens every year, and I'm still looking forward to the year that I can escape one notice of it, is it happens every August usually, where they say that the Mars is going to be much bigger than every year na lang nangyayari. Hopefully this year, last year kasi akala ko makakatakas na ako until one friend asked me na, uy, may nakita ko article, totoo ba ito? Isa lang. So hopefully this year walang magtanong. Yes, it's actually recycling. And well, it's not even true in the first place. Na mas malaki daw kaysa sa food.
It's actually for sort of you for me, I'd like to ask in terms of technicalities. Would you suggest that the headlines utilize your report on online publications and those in print? Can they be can it actually that? For example, style for the online can be adopted for print, for example, the articles. As per Sir Bruno's last question concerning how far is the Philippines or how close are we to India in realizing our potential with regard to the assessment?
Can I answer the first question? The answer is yes. The tricks that involve online media should also be print. The only minor difference would be interesting enough the physical one. Kasi when we talk about we're talking about mediums. With online mediums, the dynamics of online mediums is different from print. So there's a physical difference in as much as, for instance, with a broadsheet, you like the compared to a broadsheet, you see the top half first. It's not you say the rest of it. So you usually think of everything so that all of the information is in the upper half. Whereas on online, various online section of public kasi iba-iba yung layout ng websites. Generally, this is the same principle follows. You put the most interesting or the most important elements up on top. So so the quick answer is yes. Just think about when it comes to social references. I would say that
About India and the Philippines. Well, the population is currently and described as India's population is 12 times the Philippines, right? And sometimes their problems are also 12 times, right? Only sometimes. For example, today, one of the worst problems of India is education. Even after 7 together, it is toilets, right? in the street, it's visible. You see it. You see it on the roadsides. You see it on the train rails. You see it on beaches. Akala mo fisher folks, hindi wala. Puri folks ko lang yun. So, it's a big problem. But that's social because really, when you go up the ladder, the Indians also live very nice. The richest people live in high-rise buildings, simple high-rise. Okay? So, I mean, the disparity of lifestyles that people is also big. So, while they are our popular concepts and bring this out massive, but in terms of education, um, in a way that kita ko maganda yung sa other programs because they provide slots, for example, for minorities, how to go to school. So ultimately, you come to the US, you get a lot of opportunities, right? You go to pursue a college degree or a master's degree, yes, or PhD. Okay? But doon, in all states, meron talaga silang kumbaga, quota system for various students. Which is good. Yung mga undercastes nila, traditionally, yung outcast of but under government program, quota, you can access to opportunities. So you can understand it. Culturally, we're quite different. Although they have banned their caste system, still mostly practices, still being carried out. So if you do, that's I think a technical and social also. In terms of science, I think because um, their educational system, especially some class, you go to the graduate programs, easily, in fact, India has invented the concept of support. There are ancient society, civilization, ang dami nilang unang pinag-aralan sa restaurants. So, makikita mo the impact ng because of their social structure, knowledge and access to information sometimes can be barred from the lower classes. Which in the Philippines, hindi masyado. Kasi wala tayong defined social strategy.
Okay, last na lang. There's a quick question.
I don't know if this is the right topic to ask this question, but I'm going to ask this anyway at the first. Hindi ko makatulong. So, if we're really serious about advancing the science communication, um, how come how come courses in science communication and writing is not are not included in the roster of scholarships that you guys have?
It's an interesting question kasi it impacted me. Yes, but I have to say, although Professor Bulas or Sir Toby knows more, to be fair to University of Manila, is focused primarily on people or scientists. But I have to note the science communications for this. But yung nga lang it's a program. It's somewhere 1 to 2 years down the line. So, but yeah, anyway, that's the good news. Secondly, as far as the curricula are concerned, UPLB already has science forms. Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. Yes, yes, it's under that. Period is creating its own science journalism course, large mass communication. Even the part of science is expanding STS, hopes to develop a full degree STS course. So, again, so doing publishing as well. There are also for independent initiatives working with local companies with ideas. Um, we're trying to get scientists and artists together and trying to see what kind of synergies we can make to make it science more visual. Yeah, so there's a lot. I wish I could say more about other universities because of the
So let me put in my 2 cents worth. I think being open has failed to communicate a little about something that we are doing with the knowledge of the when I came aboard last year, that was a refrain. Trying to we all recognize that the last one is absent. What is that? Communications. And so we pushed the proposal for DOST, which I think is a program, to fund graduate students in investment from among practitioners within the department. It was approved. So last year, saying July 9, we informed them. And so today, 16 DOST employees are enrolled in a 2-year program towards the MS in education. It's a very special program for UPLB Graduate School and College of Development. So, most dati namin nagtatrabaho pa sa DOST, their offices, but Saturdays they come to STEP organization and the professors will be able to come and teach them. So it's a very special program. I think it's going to work just right, just great because I think our students are so engaged. I see that first years pass and they will make it. They're now on to their second year. So hopefully by the end of the next year, and I guess they're all graduates. I said the guys who are looking at the study really. This is a tool of our successful leadership DOS as a way to respond to the sustainability issue. Just a low-cost program video producers. So that's a sustainability response, which I think it shows how other programs support research development and communications.
Yes, as we have to agree, ang focus na nila ito sa hard sciences. So, on the side, sabi natin on the side na at least na nito proyekto, sino ko, as reactive patients, meron na tayo yung mga take na stuff. But, that's not there. Actually, sa doctorate program, sa graduate school, bibigyan nito scholarship. Kami lang naman kailangan. Kasi kapag ito and this is sa ngayon, offered lang for those who are willing to sustain. One example of that is enrolled sa university. Our editor-in-chief in her Doctor of Laws, no? So, as the this one. So, there's this one. Never happy for
Okay, thank you very much. So, can we request our speakers to relay muna? So, talking about certificate of award, a certificate of appreciation for PJ and certificate. Later. Okay. Yan. Okay. Let's give them a big round of applause. Performance with our speakers. So now, we will be going, we'll proceed now with the workshop proper. Susulatan po tayo. But prior to that, I will present now to explain yung mechanics na natin ng Writeshop later on, and then yung ating resource speaker, si Dr. Cesar, to give us the information na susulat natin. So, ito si Mau to give you the mechanics of the workshop.
Good afternoon to everyone. For sure naman na-enjoy niyo yung presentation nila Dr. Burgos, Sir Cody, Sir TJ kanina. No? Ang dami ng knowledge natin nakuha from their presentation and then the open forum. Excited na kayo magsulat? Excited na? Natok pa kayo? Bali ganito yung magiging proceedings o ano. Bali yung design kasi ng program namin, ng activity namin. Yung part 1, yun yung magiging, yung part 1 naka-dedicate siya doon sa mga know-how, mga techniques, tips na ibibigay ng mga sabi natin, seasoned science journalists na on how to write science-related stories. Yun yung diniscuss si Sir Tony at Sir TJ. Bali yung part 2, yun na yung pagsusulatin na namin kayo ng mga article. Bali, before tayo mag-proceed dun sa workshop session na yun, i-explain ko muna kung paano magiging process flow, then yung magiging, yung pagkukuhanan nyo ng story ang gagawin nyo. Bali yun, we will conduct a short press conference. Ito yung template na ginagawa namin ever since last year. Kung iba sa inyo may pamilya dito, nakapunta na sa NSTW 2016, yung ginalap yung Writeshop last year sa office namin sa SDII. Bali, nag-invite kami na parang pinaka-experience namin sa mga participants yung typical na buhay ng journalist na nag-cover ng mga science-related events. Last year, nag-invite kami ng mga speaker from RX Box, Karajin, at hinahayaan namin yung mga participants na makinig sa presentation, then isahin yung mga in-invite namin subject matters. Ngayon si Dr. Cese, distinguished research speaker, will give us the overview and the latest update on the Philippines Space Program. Yun nga, based dun sa naging team natin yung Communicated Space Technology, magkakaroon ng press conference. Magkakaroon ng 20 minutes na presentation. Sige, 30 minutes na presentation si Dr. Rojan Isese to discuss about mga naka-underline sa program sa Philippine Space Program. Then after nun, magkakaroon ng open forum. Bali lahat ng clarifications, lahat ng mga gusto nyong add on dun sa mga hindi nyo na-gets sa presentation na may chance kayong tanongin. Magkakaroon din tayo ng open forum. Kaya yung mga recorder nyo, yung mga notes nyo, pakihanda na kasi yun yung i-discuss ni Dr. Cese, yun yung magiging basis ng output nyo. Yan. For 1 hour and 30 minutes, each participant is required to write either news or feature article based on the topic discussed by our invited resource speaker. Yun, nabanggit ko na kanina na makatao naman siguro yung 1 and 30 minutes, no? Kaya? 30 minutes. 1 hour and 30 minutes. Yun, bibigyan namin kayo ng freedom na umili. News or feature article. Kayong bahala anong anggulo yung gusto nyo i-highlight doon sa i-discuss ni Dr. Cese. And after nun, participants should submit out to sciencejournal@gmail.com for saving to the master continuing to the tatry namin pero yun nga, parang priority namin kung kaya nyo i-send through email yung output nyo, dun nyo i-send. Pero kung talagang medyo struggle yung wifi natin, merong nandito yung secretary, dun na lang natin submit yung mga output natin. Yun, then, after nung lahat na nasubmit na, lahat na natapos na yung deadline na binigay namin, dapat nasa secretariat na, pipili kami ng dalawang articles na i-critique ng ating speaker, si Sir TJ. Bali, total naman, Philippine na democratic country naman. Kung sino gustong i-volunteer yung gawa niya, tulungan lang kami. Hindi kasi, actually kasi dun sa mga na-previous Writeshop namin, may mga nagre-request talaga na kung pwede, yung gawa nila yung kahit yun nga, iba sa kanila napaka-email na lang. Medyo maraming nasasabi si PJ yun. After yun sa email namin, others ng maling. Joke lang. Yun, basta, kung yun naman kung gusto nyo, tulungan lang kami kung gusto. Pero, hindi natin alam mag-volunteer, pipili kami ng dalawa. Pero, don't worry, hindi namin yung output nyo dito sa screen. Habang pinipili sa school. O parang nire-review ni Sir TJ, kaya madala anonymous yung wala kami nilalagay na pangalan. Papatayin lang namin kayo dito. Hindi lang. Yun, basta, yung mismong article lang yung present namin. Then, after nun, siguro try namin dalawa. Pero kung hindi natin yung oras pa naman, yun, baka try namin tatlo o apat. Pero depende sa magiging magiging takbo ng oras. Sasuggest yung 1 hour time. 1 hour na lang daw. Okay lang sa inyo. Yung writing. Ayun. Sige yun, 1 hour may freedom. Ibalik kung, ewan ko lang kung kakayanin. Pero, depende. Kung gusto nyo lumabas, kung saan kayo komportable magsulat, pwede. Yun. Then, kung gusto nyo pumunta sa website, kung may oras, gusto nyo sa website, pwede. Pero, syempre, depende kayo pa rin mag-manage nyo. Then yun, after nun, bali yun lang, nire-remind ko lang, kasi parang, ininom namin sa mga advisor, sa mga person nyo na dapat bago namin kayo bigyan ng certificate of participation, dapat may pasa kayo output sa malinaw yun. Kahit kami may contact sa mga team at sa person. Ayun. Yung tsaka sa akin din naman yung binibigay ng certificate of participation, yung basta-basta. O parang diploma yung parang gumana. Yun, may question pa? Ayun na. English. Sige, yun. And then, may freedom din kayo pumili ng video ng language. Kung gusto nyo Filipino, okay lang. Kung gusto okay lang. Huwag lang Taglish. Tsaka na yun. Yun. Kasi ina-encourage namin sa inyo na yung output mag-create ng article, ina-encourage namin na yun nga, sa yung paggawa ng output. Kasi pupili kami ng mga articles na ipapublish namin sa mga publications namin, sa mga website namin. Yun, pwede din namin i-disseminate din sa mga teacher, kung ano man.
Person motivated. Raise an graduated just graduate applied physics at the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, in 2001. So his master's degree in physics in 2004. He finished his doctorate in astronomy and astrophysics in 2009 at the University of Tsukuba in Japan, with a specialization in computational astrophysics, focusing on the radiative transfer process in circumstellar disks around massive stars. In 2011, he returned to his regional post as an assistant professor of physics at UP Los Baños and spearheaded the creation of the first astrophysics research laboratory in the country. He was also appointed as the government focal person of the Philippine Space Science Education Program under the Science Education Institute of the Department of Science and Technology. He is active in promoting space science education and development in the Philippines through various initiatives such as the Universe Awareness Program and the Galileo Teacher Training Program. His research interests include stellar astrophysics, astrophysical instrumentation, nanosatellite development, and space science education. Recently, he was a participant in the fourth CANSAP Leadership Training Program and was granted the 2012 Emerging Space Leaders Grant Program of the International Astronautical Federation. He is currently involved in several international organizations, such as the Space Generation Advisory Council and World Space Week Organization. He is also the current chairman of the Southeast Asian Astronomy Collaboration and president of Regulus Space Tech, space technology and R&D company based in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Roger Mari D. Sesi.
Thank you very much for that very good introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. So for today, I was given the task to give the overview or provide the overview for the Philippines Space Program, which is something that we did earlier with the UST through various initiatives. So in that aspect, and also the program for the National Space Club. Just before we proceed to that aspect, or to the meat of the PSP, the Philippine Space Program, a little overview now. I am an astrophysicist by profession, but I almost became a science student. When I took my very first subject in physics in ULP, I almost got a fail. And one of my, when I said that I feel that I should. But that's not because it's a very different from science, but also because I'm related to science and community. So my mother is a molecular biologist, botanist actually from ULP. My father is actually a dental guy. He was the very first editor-in-chief of Perspective, newspaper of and I was actually a staff on Perspective. So now I'm a science communicator. So one of my tasks is to promote awareness of the Philippine Space Program. So for today, I'll be giving you an overview of the Philippine Space Program. I'll try to be brief as I can, given the time to do that. And I know that this is going to be a little bit comprehensive, so you will be given, or you have the opportunity to select your angle or what kind of pitch you want to have for this Philippine Space Program. Just before we start, raise of hands who wanted to become an astronaut in the world, or who wanted to go to space, or go to the stars. That's one of the usual things that we do to get to see what is the current idea. So almost all of us have had interest when we were to go to space to become an astronaut. Unfortunately, that's not been followed through. So hopefully through this Philippine Space Program, we can have more people who will become interested in learning or pursuing careers in space. Great. One of the very first questions, question that we usually get asked is, what is the impact of space to our lives? Okay? So this is a slide coming from the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, which shows the 17 Sustainable Development Goals provided by the UN. And it shows here that out of these 17 SDGs, almost all of them, actually all of them, are directly or indirectly affected by space. Starting from those that are directly affected, such as education, preventing hunger, climate action, to those that are indirectly affected, such as gender equality, the eradication of poverty, and having clean energy. So through this slide, you can see that space actually has a lot of impact in our everyday lives. But most of the time, we are not aware of this. So in terms of the applications of space that we have right now, of course, we're very much familiar with them. So this, we have communication, satellite TV, positioning and navigation. The simple fact that you are using your smartphones or the GPS in your smartphone means you are using space technology. Weather forecasting, environmental observation, technology development, science, research, and finally exploration. So you can see that there's a vast majority of applications that space can have in our lives. In terms of the benefits of having a national space program, most of the time we focus on what we call temporary impacts, such as the creation of a new satellite or a new ground station. But what is more important in the long run are what we call enduring impacts. So this can come in various forms, such as new commercial activities, increasing productivity or efficiency gains, having national or regional economic growth, and cross-border access. And of course, we have a lot of, here in the Philippines, we have a lot of possible or impacts that space can provide in social, in our society, where we provide internet services to create a the society. Precision agriculture, which comes in the form of more efficient crop monitoring, having disaster assessment and faster response time. Climate research, the impact of climate change on us. Environmental monitoring, capability of our seas, our forests, and our mountains, as well as pollution levels, protecting our territory and our environmental waters that we have, increasing employment, and finally having a more or better international recognition. Like a virtual impact on space. So just an overview. This is just to show what's the situation in the region, the ASEAN region. So 7 out of the 10 ASEAN countries that we have right now, we already have space programs. Okay? So the only countries that do not have any space program are Cambodia, Myanmar, and Vietnam. So this is just an overview of the current infrastructure of the various ASEAN countries. The number of satellites, the black satellites are the 10 communication satellites, which are usually larger than 1,000 kilograms. The white satellites are Earth observation satellites, which are usually less than 1,000 kilograms. So as you can see, here in the Philippines, we only have one satellite, which is the Luatao Earth observation satellite. So in 2016, actually 2016 was a very big year for space development in the country. There were 3 major events that happened in 2016, which in a way became our debut to the international arena or to the international stage. First was the release of the Wata 1 satellite from the International Space Station last April 27, 2016. So you can see the Wata 1 being ejected from the ISS. Second was the submission of House Bill 3637 and Senate Bill 1211, which aims to legislate the creation of a Philippine Space Agency, Philippine Space Development and Utilization Policy. And finally, in November last year, we hosted the 23rd Asia Pacific Regional Space Agency Forum at Sophia here. So even in the absence of a space agency, we are already hosting a space agency. So this is a way of elaborating a bit on the Luana microsatellite. So this is the first microsatellite, or the first satellite that was built by Filipino scientists and engineers from the University of the Philippines in collaboration with their counterparts from the Hope and Ohio University. So you can, this is a 50-kilogram satellite, and you can see here after that, I think I'm the only person in this group who was able to see the Luana one before it was launched into space. So right now, Iwata 2 is undergoing mission planning and exactly scheduled for launch in the first half of 2018. So just another more details. It contains 4 cameras, the high precision telescope, the small multispectral spaceborne multispectral imager, the wide field camera, and the motion field camera. All of this have their varying resolutions and applications. As a way of communicating with the Iwata microsatellite, we also have the PEDO, or Philippine Earth Data Resources Observatory. So this is our ground station, or it's the main ground receiving station for Iwata, as well as Pusan 8, Pusan 5. This is currently located at the Advanced Science and Technology Institute, or ASTI, along CP Garcia in Quezon City. So this is our main link towards Iwata. So this is where we transfer data, or we upload data or commands to Iwata, and at the same time, Iwata satellite downlinks the images that it captures from space. Yes. One of the anchor points of the Philippine Space Program is the National Space Development and Utilization Policy, which was crafted together with various stakeholders from academia, government, industry, and even in the defense sector. So we identified 6 key development areas: national security and development, hazard management and climate studies, space research and development, space industry capacity building, space education and awareness, and planning international cooperation. And to provide a little bit more detail on that, us in the National Space Development Program, which is a DOST funded program, was tasked to lay the groundwork for the various roadmaps that we are going to help. So that includes the National Space Research and Development Agenda, Satellite Development Roadmap, the Satellite Data Sharing Management Policy, and also the Space Industry Development Program. Just to elaborate a little bit more on the framework of the NSTW. So these are the key statements of each of the KDA. So you can see here, for national security and development, the Philippines will focus on space applications that can that can preserve and enhance the country's national security and promote development that is beneficial to all Filipinos. For hazard management and climate studies, the Philippines will develop and utilize space science and technology applications to enhance its hazard management and disaster mitigation strategy, as well as ensure the nation's resilience in climate change. For space research and development, to spur rapid scientific growth, the Philippines will focus on conducting research and development endeavors in vital areas of space science, technology, and allied fields. For space industry capacity building, the Philippines will create a robust and private space industry to support the country's space program through private sector involvement in operations. For space education and awareness, the Philippines aims to establish a sustainable pool of trained space scientists, engineers, and communicators that will be critical for the country's future space program and increasing public awareness of its value and benefits. And finally, for international cooperation, through international partnerships and collaborations, the Philippines will become a key player in the ASEAN and global space community by providing significant contributions and capabilities on space science and technology. Just an overview of what has transpired since last year with regards to the legislation of the Philippine Space Agency. So the first bill was filed on September 2016, which was House Bill 3627, filed by Congressman Eric Orison Alimentado, who is currently the chair of the Science and Technology Committee in Congress, together with Congressman Sen. Frederick Rosas from Zamboanga. On October 18, a similar bill was filed, which was Senate Bill 1211, filed by Senator Juan Aquino, who is currently the chair of the Senate Committee on Science and Technology. Subsequently, House Bill 4275 was filed by Congressman Luis Sergo and Congressman Maceda. House Bill 4667 was filed by Congressman Saxeda, worldwide. House Bill 4623 was filed by Congressman Rodriguez and De Oro, and Senate Bill 1259 was filed by Senator Loren Ricardo. And then earlier this year, the Philippine Space Program was presented to the Cabinet and to President Duterte, which was approved in principle, and we are awaiting the signing of an executive order for the creation of the National Space Development Office under the NSTW. The same month, earlier in January, four House bills was approved by the Senate Committee on, House Committee on Government Reorganization and Science and Technology, and we conducted already the two technical working group meetings last March 15 and May 30, which was the final one was May 30. So now there's a consolidated version for the new House bill, which will be submitted to plenary session this August after Congress resumes its sessions. And also the development of the space capabilities and legislation of Philippine Space Agency is included in the Philippine Development Plan 2017-2022 flying net. So this is the administration's plan for development until 2020. In terms of the functions of the Philippine Space Agency, of course, it will be the implementing agency for the Philippine Space Development and Utilization Policy. It aims to coordinate all space activities of various sectors and stakeholders in the Philippines. It's tasked to promote growth in science and space technology through R&D, establish programs for space education and promoting public awareness. Tasked also to foster the creation of workforce and thriving vibrant global space industry and provide accurate advice to the President as well as other government agencies on space-related issues and concerns. Just going to a little bit more detail with regards to the programs. So these are the agenda. This is the Space Research and Development agenda. So these are the areas of research that the government will be looking to do in terms of strengthening our capabilities on space technology. So we have Earth observation for the environment, safety and security, space systems and facilities, space education and development, finally in space science and innovation. So each of them have their own development areas. In terms of the satellite roadmap, satellite development roadmap, beyond the Iwata program, we are also looking to 5 other satellites which was necessary, found necessary based on stakeholder inputs. 2 of them will be for communications, that includes the low Earth orbit communication satellite and the geostationary telecommunication satellite. And 3 of them will be for Earth observation, optical infrared satellite, synthetic aperture radar satellite, and also microwave or precipitation radar satellite. So you can see in terms of application, has application in communications, in agriculture, in forest and plant water monitoring, in studies, in coastal monitoring and ocean studies, in disaster assessment or disaster management, national security, and also in flood monitoring. In terms of the data that will be generated by these satellites, in principle, all of these data will be provided for free to the public without any need for payment, because these are, in our view, this is already paid for by the taxes of the Filipinos. So all satellite data shall be made available to government agencies and public, generally free of charge. However, these images shall be free for security, also to provide technology protection measures. In terms of industry development, we are also looking towards the development of 4 niche areas in the industry. So we have space subsystem production, because we have thriving semiconductor in the aerospace industry here in the Philippines. In fact, we already have supplier companies that we call what we call tier 1 suppliers. So these are the companies that supply mainly to Boeing, to Airbus, or to Lockheed Martin. So they're direct suppliers. But we also have a lot of tier 2 and tier 3 suppliers that we are looking forward to collaborate with. We also looking towards the creation of a satellite AIT or a semi-integration and testing facility for small satellites. This is part of a vertical integration strategy so that we will become more of a lead in the Southeast Asian region. The third niche is more on the applications and services, like extracting information and providing value-added services based on the images or the data that we obtain by the satellites and market it as applications, broadcast services, or even resell these capacity to the commercial sector. And finally, the last and most long-term program or part of the program is the development of launch vehicle capabilities because the Philippines is actually a very suitable launch site for rockets. This is dictated by our own geography. In terms of the long-term goals, where we plan to go in the future, of course, we want to use space technology and applications for nation building. We're looking towards having our own or indigenous satellite development capability, and we want to have our own launch capability, as I mentioned earlier. We want to generate a pool of Filipino scientists, engineers, and having a sustainable pool, meaning even if some of them goes outside of the country, there will be someone who will face the right? We want to have a robust and thriving space industry and economy and strongly integrates towards uh, international cooperation. So as of the moment, most of the space activities that we have in the Philippines are focused on the downstream side, which is more on the exploitation of technology. But in the future, we look towards a more balanced upstream and downstream capabilities. So we don't want just to be users of the data, we also want to generate our own data. So some of the future developments that we have in the pipeline, institutional scholarship programs, courses and research projects in various universities. We are also looking towards opportunities for inviting experts to the country and also sending some of our experts abroad as a part of the exchange. The development and launch of Duwaka 2 scheduled for next year, as well as for small satellites. The development of applications for space technology and on space technology, specifically for the environment, agriculture, and security. So these are the three primary factors or areas that we are looking towards working in. Having a detailed study on the final location of various ground infrastructure right now, we are looking towards having some facility in the Dark Green City in it's not but it's in Pasay, one of the new developments that is being planned by NSTW. Commencing, part of it is actually to spur also the local space industry. We want to increase public awareness of the value and benefit of space in our country. And finally, by 2018, we are looking towards the passing of the Philippines Space Act of 2016. So this is the bill that will finally create the Philippine Space Agency. So I guess that would. Oh, I know you have a lot of questions, but well, this is just an overview of what I mentioned earlier. But one of the things that I would like to highlight here is that in a way it's true. Having a space program is costly, but not having a space program is even costlier in the long run. I will end it off with two quotes. One of it is coming from Projects at the Barbara. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Projects at the Barbara. So Project Santa Barbara was a project in the 70s here in the Philippines where we developed our own rockets. So in the 70s we were actually developing our own rockets. So this is a classified project. Just an excerpt from the foreword of this. So this is actually an affirmation of our desire to rely on our own resources, to use our own resources, to harness the innate capability of our people, so we may improve the quality of our lives and preserve the sovereignty of the Filipino nation. True, we live in an era of interdependence, but the fact remains that a nation, first of all, must be self-reliant, progressive, in order to take its rightful place, the family of nations, and maintain it with dignity and respect. And the last one, this is not from a scientist, but actually from a journalist, the Wall Street Journal. The question to ask is whether the risk of traveling to space is worth it. The answer is an unequivocal yes, but not only for the reasons that are usually touted by the space community. We need to explore the scientific return and possible commercial growth. The most compelling reason, a very long-term one, is the necessity of using space to protect Earth and guarantee survival of humanity.
So, ito yung ating next week. So, not press con. Okay, we should start the press con. Kunyari, yung mga journalist, our resource person is in front. You can throw your questions to him. And, as usual, ganun din. Kung magtatanong kayo, parang press con yan, sabihin yung pangalan nyo, affiliation nyo, saka yung question mo. And then, let's limit our question to sa maraming introduction. Let's go straight to the question itself. And then, start it. Then, Writeshop na yun. But, after the press call, during the Writeshop, you can approach them freely kung may mga questions kayo, tips that you want to get from them, habang nagsusulat kayo. So, the press call is now formally open. The floor, you may have the floor for the first question. Anyone? Come on, don't be shy. Gutom pa ba kayo? Kulang ba yung merienda? Ipag-deliver tayo. Care of Mao. Sige na yun. Sige, may payo muli kayo. Yung muna magtatanong.
Think lang namin, use the press call as an opportunity to ask kasi
Ang reality ko, don't be shy. So, pwede magtanong in Tagalog, in
That's also
English,
one of the reasons why I try to minimize the details.
Oh, sir?
Yes, sir. Very good. Yes. Okay, very good question. Why is the Philippines an ideal launch site? The way that rockets work is that most of the time, a lot of the time, they are launched towards the east because it takes advantage of the rotation of the Earth. So in a way, the Earth tries to catapult the rocket as it flies to space. This is important because it entails two things. One, either you can save fuel that you're going to need to launch the rocket, or the other way is you can carry a much heavier payload or a much heavier satellite. So if you launch towards the east, you take advantage of that physical reality with that fact. Now, the closer you are to the equator, okay, the stronger the velocity or the speed that is being imparted. Okay. So if you launch close to, let's say, North America, you get a much lower catapult effect or velocity imparted by the Earth compared to launching in or near the equator. So in that sense, by launching from the Philippines, you can actually have a much heavier payload, and or you can save fuel, which means that your rocket launches will be cheaper in nature. Okay. Now, the only problem is if you launch rockets, you have to ensure that the boosters of those rockets will not land on populated areas. Otherwise, you'll be looking at casualties. And what do we have on the eastern part of the Philippines? That's the whole Pacific Ocean. So there are only 4 places in the world that has similar geography. One is in South America, which is actually the main launch site of the European Space Agency in Peru. The other is in Sriharikota in India, which is also the main launch site of the Indian Space Research Organization. The Philippines is one, we have a much better position compared to Indonesia because there are more islands in Indonesia. And the fourth area is somewhere in the coast of Somalia, which we hope to do in the near future. Okay?
O, basta pagka mag-experiment kayo ng rocket, bumawi yan. Baka sumabog kayo. Okay, are there any other questions? Yeah.
This is a good question. Sir, based on what you know, Iwata is just, it's supposed to be just temporary, but it's stopped in the name. So, can you share us why and what is origin?
Actually, give me the origin of the name Duwata. Actually, even the Duwata means how it happened like that. Actually, that's one of my business. I think someone that is from USD, someone in USD suggested the name. I think someone from who because Duwata is scary. So this is something that is difficult in nature. So in that aspect, Duwata was really difficult because it was a very huge undertaking. And it was the very first time that we were doing satellite. So now it's already proven that we can make it. But in the future, the names will be different.
Hindi tatanong kayo bakit Pedro. Yung station. Pedro is an acronym.
So that one is easier to explain. The building Earth data resources.
Okay, any more questions? One or two na lang. 3 questions.
It says here that yung Diwata po, it will eat the rest of the house in terms of agriculture and things. Pero how come po that after a very long time, very long production of production?
Okay, why did it take a long time for the building to have satellite? I think that is a little bit. There are a lot of factors that led to that situation. One is, I think the biggest factor is the lack of the understanding of our situation from our decision makers on the importance of space activity. Because it stems from the fact that when you think about space, usually you think about the Mars or the Moon. So, nag-stick yung ganung mindset na hindi siya kailangan ng Pilipinas. But with the current developments, the geopolitical realities that we have right now, it's very important for countries, even developing countries like the Philippines, to have their own space program. At this point in time, it's actually no longer an option. It's already a necessity for any country in the world to have a space program. Even Bangladesh is having their own space program. So with the past few years, I think the government realized the importance of having space capabilities. One, when you track why that happened, there were 2 factors that was very critical. One was Typhoon Haiyan. So Typhoon Haiyan demonstrated the need for satellite or space technology in 2 ways. One is because after Typhoon Haiyan struck all the ground infrastructure for communications was shut down. The only way that we can communicate is through satellites. That's one. 2, it showed also the necessity of our to image areas of the country that were affected by the typhoon in order for us to provide it as good disaster response. So that's the first event. The second event was actually what is happening in the West Philippines. So, and this one is a little bit more military in nature. Because we are blind to what is happening in the rest of the military assets to control the whole area 24/7. That became an opportunity for other countries to invade and not invade, but to improve and also develop structures there. The only time that we learned that they were doing that was when we tried to which we don't even do. So that's the two aspects that led to the appreciation for the need for space. One is civilian, one is military, which is true because space is actually a dual-use technology. It has military applications, it has civilian. Okay, last question.
Good afternoon po. I'm Dr. Grace. So, yung question ko, ang diwata ko is order distribution. And dun sa dati natin po, wala po tayong nag-distribution sa awa. Isa po kaya itong dahilan kung bakit isa ang Pilipinas na pinang bagay na internet connection sa Asia. And ano po yung tayong framework ang launch yun natin yung dalawang telecommunication satellite.
Okay, so yeah, actually we have telecommunication satellites. There are two out of the future 5 missions. There are two that are telecom. One is low Earth orbit, and one is geostationary orbit, which can provide 24/7 communications access to anyone in the country. So no matter if you're in the farthest mountain or farthest island, you can still be there. Although we're not saying that having that kind of satellite will be the cure to having a mass airplane. I will try to clear that misconception. It doesn't work that way. Because even satellite communications is using different sources. What is important for satellite communications is it enables you to go to close that last mile in terms of communication, like providing communication access to the fringe or the remote areas of our country. So that's it's not going to be a solution to have cheaper internet. I need to be clear about that. So, but it can provide other a lot of different services too, especially in the form of telemedicine.
Okay, thank you very much. So, start na tayo. Let's start writing. You have 1 hour. Thank you very much, Dr. Sese. Give Dr. Sese a big round of applause. We will present his certificate at PTTC.
Edit naman na question, sir. Dapat hindi secret. Picture naman yung address mo. Hindi ko lang alam kung sino dapat kumasama. Advice.
Here is Pasay for Burgos. Hand over the certificate of appreciation and token of performance band. Now carried by Dr. Karanda. Okay. Photo. Yeah. Yeah, photo over din yan as journalist. Yung mga ganyan photo, ha? Nalagyan ng action. Dapat tama pangalan, may middle initial, kompleto, ha? Ganyan lang event. Okay, thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause. Okay, so we have 1 hour. Oh, basta pagkatapos nyo yung sinusulat nyo, one at a time, you can just approach the secretariat para ibigay yung flash drive, yung record. or through the internet, sa email, pwede nyo pa na. And you can approach them anytime. Kung meron pa kayong questions, we are here. Si EJ, si Sir Dr. Sesen will be here to attend to your questions. Okay? Happy writing. Okay, now is 4:40. We have to be here by 5:30 siguro. Nandito na tayo sa room ulit 5:30. So anytime we can start the break. Okay? Sige. Pwede pa mag-CCR, pwede muna mag-CR. Ibang necessities na kailangan natin. Okay? So we return 5:30 or we can 5:30. Okay?
Wala, dyan notes mo hindi ko mababasa. Kaya wala na. Ay, yun nga lang, kaya ako nakapag-notes. Ay, yan, attachment. Grabe. Hindi, ano yung nasa isa na yun. Ako, nasa isa ko. Parang hindi na lang para saan yun? This, Parang tayo muna, nag-transfer. Nag-transfer ako. Wala na ako, wala na akong voting. Para may ma-recordan na ako.